All right. Going live here. Give it a couple minutes for the BerryReport podcast redo. We just did a video, but realized halfway through it I didn't have my mic turned on. And then editing the video, I realized even after I turned the mic on, nobody could hear me. So just a couple minutes here. Thank you for joining us right now. So if you're watching this, I should be able to see the chat in a minute here. Live chat. There we go. No problem, Romeo. Sorry about that. I tried it. I saw your message halfway through, but it didn't. Apparently, didn't make a difference when I turned on the sound. So, give it a couple minutes here. Let me get put that in the Facebook group real quick. I knew to forget a social network. Boop. Give her a little bit of time to pile in. Cool, thanks, man. I threw them in some of my BBM groups as well. All the more the merrier, though. More views or not, this podcast is be able to listen on the go as well. So. All right. Top of this still here. Yep. That's my mail. I'll do it that way. All right. Two viewers is coming in. So, all right, let's do it. All right. So thank you for joining us for another episode of the BerryReport podcast. My name is BlackBerryBrad, and I am your host. As you can tell, I'm all by myself. Cue the music. I don't have the music, but as normally I'm joined by Art Chat from the nerdberry.net, but he's unable to join us, so we're flying solo this week, trying to get into a regular schedule. So usually what happens is Art and myself, we try to get our schedules to line up every Thursday or every week, and if they don't, we either skip the podcast or we normally just skip the podcast. But I've been dying to do a podcast. I've been very busy lately, and with work, and been getting sick randomly so often. Normally I'm not very prone to sickness, but I usually get sick maybe once or twice a year. But this past few months, I just have been nothing but colds and and stomach pain viruses and such. So hopefully I'm getting onto the better end. Feel another sickness coming on though, so we'll see about that. But enough about sickness and my sad stories. Let's get onto the news in the BlackBerry world. So let's start with a new BBM update hitting the beta folks. So if you're a beta tester for BBM, you'll be glad to know that you should be getting, or should already have, a new update for BBM coming your way, or already on your device. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of cool stuff is thrown into that new BBM update. Hopefully the rest of us will be seeing the update come shortly. Usually when they hit the beta update, or beta folks, the rest of us aren't that far behind. But I do know there are some people out there that are having some issues with this latest update. So some people are reporting no issues, and other people are reporting that BBM is just useless, crashing and such. But that's why it's in beta, so they can get an idea of how it's working with some and how it's working with others. So, but nonetheless, in this new update, we have animated stickers. One of the new cool features. So instead of just sending your plain Jane stickers that you're sending, you can now will be able to send animated stickers to your friends, and you also they're also going to categorize the current sticker shop, which is nice to see, because if you go looking for like a sticker pack or anything like that, it's not really organized very well. You kind of have to scroll through all the stickers that are currently out there, all the sticker packs that are currently out there, and it's kind of a pain. So it's nice to see that they're doing that in a category customization way. So nice to see. Also, if you haven't noticed, you can share videos currently with BBM to friends and families. But when you share those videos and you need to edit that video, it's not the greatest experience in the world. So this time around, BBM now has a better interface for sharing videos and editing videos, more options for you to use it with. So hopefully we will see a much better experience with that, and be able to edit videos a lot better. Also, better management for groups, chats, events in those groups, and discussions in those groups. It's nice to see that BBM is focusing on groups, because I believe that's a huge area of opportunity for them. I'm in tons of groups right now. I'm in about 5 groups. It can get pretty hectic sometimes. So if you are in any of my groups, there is actually a BerryReporter group as well. So if you don't know how to get access to that, go ahead and just email me, brad@BerryReporter.com. I'll get you set up in that group. But in my group, sometimes I go for a long period of silence. That's because I usually just throw the group on mute, because it's started with and I sometimes I can't keep up because I'm at work or doing stuff for the site. I just can't keep up. So try to get in there as much as I can. But it's nice to see that BBM is focusing still on groups, because it's a huge opportunity for them. I mean, they definitely need to make groups a little better, and add a little more features into the groups. But the fact that they're giving you a better interface and create groups and manage those groups still, it's great to see. Also, we're getting a new chat interface with BBM update that's coming out, which is supposedly user friendly, and it's a lot more easier to use while you're chatting with your friends and family and such. So it's great to see that. And last but not least, you can now customize BBM pins are free. Right? So previously, I believe you had to pay 99 cents for it to customize your BBM pin. And now it's free, which is great. I love the idea of customized BBM pins. I use one. I'm paying right now the 99 cents or $1, whatever it is. So it'd be nice to save that 99 cents, put it towards something else, I guess. But customized pins are nice because you don't have to give out or memorize your current pin of BBM, and you can use a customized one that you remember for when you're giving out. So, for instance, my BBM pin is BBBRAD. So it's it's nice to have. So there's my BBM pin. So add away. But yeah, a lot of cool things coming for BBM update in the beta right now. Like I said, it's in beta right now. So if you're not seeing it yet, don't freak out. It's not available to the public yet. It's only available to beta users. Excuse me. I'm still waiting for my update to come through. So I have yet to see the update for BBM beta, but it's coming down the pipeline nonetheless. Next thing to talk about on this week's podcast for the BerryReporter.com Berry Report podcast, there is a new version of the BlackBerry KEYone getting ready to make its way, according to a lot of the sources and a lot of photos that are out there. So originally we saw photos of a BlackBerry KEYone decked out all in black. So right now the current setup for the BlackBerry KEYone is you have that silver band around it on the back and all around the housing. With this one, if you go over to BerryReporter.com, links in the description, by the way, for this post, you can see the photos for the BlackBerry KEYone. They're calling it the BlackBerry KEYone Special Edition. And it was rumored to be just hitting over in China starting next month, so August. And now there is CEO of TCL of Communications in Brazil, Fernando Pezzati. There is actually a couple of new upgrades to this BlackBerry KEYone. So pretty much what it looks like, they were getting ready to launch the BlackBerry KEYone in September with the current model that's out there right now, but they're realizing that there's this supply shortage for the components that they're using for the BlackBerry KEYone. Now, keep in mind, the BlackBerry KEYone currently is still selling like crazy, and it's great to see. It's a great device. No reason to doubt that it's selling like crazy, but it's definitely affecting BlackBerry Mobile. They can't keep up with making these devices and selling these devices. They're running out of supplies and stuff like that. So instead of so Fernando Pezzati and TCL decided, instead of taking a chance and having more of a delay when Brazil gets a hold of their device and China gets a hold of this device, that they're actually just going to add a couple of new features to hopefully speed up the process and help roll out this device. So again, they're calling it the BlackBerry KEYone Special Edition. And it's going to have 64 gigs of internal memory instead of the standard 32 that you have right now. And it's also going to have 4 gigs of RAM, which is great. I mean, again, 32 gigs on this device and 3 gigs of RAM is plenty for most. The 3 gigs of RAM is plenty, but will we bark at an extra gigabyte of RAM and a little bit extra storage? Not at all. I mean, I'll gladly take it. They had me at the full black color at first, and just adding the more storage space and the more RAM is just icing on the cake for me. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of unhappy about this concept because they already have the BlackBerry KEYone, and they had no idea that this new version of the BlackBerry KEYone was going to be coming out. And unfortunately, that's what we run into when the early adopters, go and buy these new products. We buy the products, the first ones that get these products. You kind of take a chance that sometimes these manufacturers will release a better model of the device. And I don't think BlackBerry Mobile actually did this on purpose or anything. I don't think they even thought about having a better spec'd out device version of the BlackBerry KEYone until now. It's just probably something that it looks like something that just kind of was talked about recently, and now they're just going with it. And again, it stinks that for the early adopters who purchased these devices already, they have again 32 gigs and 3 gigs RAM is not bad, but I'm sure most of us would pay for more storage. I know I'm definitely getting it when it becomes available. So speaking of becoming available, time frame on all this. Sorry about that. So pretty much the availability is going to be China's going to be getting it next month, and then we're looking at a availability of October for Brazil, and then after Brazil gets their hands on it, it's going to be available globally shortly after that. So yeah, so very exciting. I can't wait to get my hands on this device. And it's definitely nice to see that BlackBerry's kind of taking a dive with a new color and a newer version. So I'm hoping that they don't stop here with the colors. I'm kind of hoping that they kind of go a little bit further with colors and maybe come out with a special edition, white version or blue or red or something like that. I mean, I would love to see more color options for the BlackBerry Q1. Let me know in the description or the comments below if you guys would like to see more colors than just the silver, black, and the pure black that we're seeing right now. So yeah. So let's see what else we got here. So BlackBerry, over at the BlackBerry corporate offices, they've been pretty busy keeping up with their BlackBerry Secure focus, making sure they help companies and government agencies stay secure. And BlackBerry recently rolled out SecuSmart for government. So SecuSmart is actually their end-to-end encryption for voice calls and text messages, and so now it's being rolled out to government agencies in the U.S. and Canada, which is nice to see. Now this is a great solution for government agencies. I want to help make sure that they keep secure phone call, or their phone calls are encrypted end to end again, and same thing with text messages. And call tapping is on a alarming rate. And it's kind of scary out there to think that there's people eavesdropping in on government agencies' phone calls and stuff like that. And BlackBerry's trying to help, do their part in helping with making sure they're secure, with rolling out SecuSmart for government. That's available to government agencies, and I'm sure businesses and corporate offices and enterprises out there as well. It's great to see. Again, love seeing BlackBerry get their hands into the security. Then again, BlackBerry is a security company now. A lot of people have to realize that there's kind of two phases with BlackBerry. There's BlackBerry, the company, it's all security, it's all software, and then there's also BlackBerry Mobile and TCL and all the licensing partnerships with who they have the partnerships with. I still get excited about the devices, but it's actually very exciting to see what BlackBerry is doing on the other side as well. So, SecuSmart for governments out there. You can read more about it on BerryReporter.com, but it's great to see. Going back to the BlackBerry Q1, we also have so the first U.S. carrier is made available the BlackBerry Q1 to their users, and that's Sprint. So Sprint customers have been dying for a BlackBerry device. The last device that they had was the Q10 for BlackBerry. That was a BlackBerry 10 device. That was back in like 2013. So they've had 4 years now without an updated BlackBerry device, and I know there's been people dying for BlackBerry devices on Sprint, and it's nice to see. Sprint's the first carrier in the U.S. to get the Q1 out to their users, which is nice for them. Think about Sprint's in a very smart move for Sprint. They're in a still in the position of kind of fighting with T-Mobile for that 3 and 4 spot in the carrier rankings in the U.S. and they're still going after the big dog Verizon and AT&T still as well. But for them to be the first for this device, there's a lot of BlackBerry users in the U.S. that are looking to get their hands on this device, and if they have to go through a carrier, they're going to. And now that the only carrier they can go through as of right now is Sprint, so kind of gives a if they really want this device, they're going to switch, and that's what Sprint's thinking. So, if you switch to Sprint and get a Q1, let us know. Let us know how you're liking the device on Sprint, and I'm sure there's a lot of happy Sprint customers out there. If you're looking to pick up the BlackBerry Q1 on Sprint, head over to Sprint.com. You can purchase it now. They're doing their finance program, which for 18 monthly payments, you can pay $22 a month plus your service fees. Or you can pay the full retail cost, which is $528 US. So not too bad. They have some pretty good promotions going right now, and deals with their network and such. And Sprint works in some areas, and doesn't work in other areas. And we could say that about some of the other carriers too. But it's really nice to see Sprint customers have an option now for BlackBerry device. And who wouldn't want an option? The BlackBerry Q1. Especially if you're coming from the Q10. If you're coming from the Q10 and going to the Q1, it's definitely a big upgrade coming from it. Q10. I don't even think the Q10 saw the latest BBM BlackBerry 10 update. So, and I'm sure, a lot of people are dying for apps and such out there. But if there's anybody listening that has a Sprint device and hasn't made the switch to the KEYone yet, let us know in the comments below why you haven't made the switch yet. If you're watching live on the on YouTube, you guys should. We have a chat going right now. Feel free to ask questions or give your comments or anything. That unfortunately, my Spanish is very, very rusty, so I don't understand what some folks are saying in the chat right now. But if someone would like to translate for me, that'd be great. Unfortunately, I only took 2 years of Spanish, and both years my teacher was out for maternity leave, so I didn't really learn much for the substitutes that they provided me. So I believe you're saying you want a BlackBerry KEYone in Mexico, if I'm thinking right. And I'm sure you are dying to get a BlackBerry KEYone in Mexico. And no really word on who, if they're what the KEYone market's like in Mexico. I haven't really looked into that yet, but I'll definitely get something going and kind of do a little research as what I can. I know you can buy unlocked versions still, and I'm guessing you can get them from Amazon and Best Buy. Get them shipped in. I don't know if they both ship to you, but I'm sure there's Amazon sites you can get them shipped to. But yeah, the BlackBerry KEYone available in Sprint. I've had my KEYone for 4 months, and like many, and I'm still loving the device. One little thing I will talk about, I didn't put it in the description, but I did have a KEYone. My original KEYone, the screen fell victim of the screen lift or a fallout issue, I guess. And it was, again, it's not the greatest experience to go through. We didn't really talk about it much on this podcast. I believe I talked about it on the UTB blog podcast way back, a few weeks ago. And it's not that, it's a weird situation because, it seems like it's just a quality control issue where some folks had the issue and a lot of folks didn't. I know Crackbreak Kevin did his insane rear world test and didn't have any issues with those. But I had one that had the issue, and again, that device was actually a pre-release model, so it wasn't it wasn't the exact model that was going out to the public. It was very close to it, so it was I believe I got it a couple weeks before the official launch, so it wasn't too far off of the release time frame. But nonetheless, I did have the screen issue. It was kind of a weird experience because nothing happened to the device physically. I'm very good with my device. I mean, honest, I've never dropped my phone or my KEYone. Now that I say that, I'm going to do it, tomorrow morning. But the KEYone's been very protected. I still have my Incipio cases that I've been using periodically. If you've been watching any of these podcasts, I hate cases, but especially on this device. I mean, I know there's a lot of great case options out there, and I've been looking for a great screen protector. So if you know one, let me know. But I really don't want to hide this device behind a case. And I do have the Incipio clear case, and that does a pretty good job of still showing off the device. But nonetheless, I believe it was like a Sunday night. I went to bed, device was charging, was perfectly fine. And then I woke up the next morning and I noticed that the top right-hand corner was kind of lifting up. I was noticing this because I was laying down in bed in the morning, checking my email like I normally do, and I noticed that the screen was coming down a little bit. Not too much. It was just lifting a little bit. So I quickly contacted BlackBerry Mobile Warranty Exchange and was able to get, go through the process of getting a replacement device. And when the only thing I can really think of is I was coming home that Sunday night and using my device so I was traveling from Connecticut down home to Pennsylvania, and the only thing I think of is this device might have gotten too hot from either using my GPS or I don't know what, and might have heated up the glue where it caused it to separate. I can't really think of a reason what caused it. Some folks have also said that when they do put cases on it, to get those cases off these devices, it does put a little tension on the screen that's coming out. So don't know what happened to it, but we do know BlackBerry Mobile responded to it. We do know BlackBerry Mobile and TCL is putting in, fixes to the supply chain or the manufacturing process to add more adhesive or add better, take better measures to make sure that this doesn't happen. And from what I'm gathering online, the issue has seemed to die down a little bit. I know the issue when it first came out was kind of crazy, and there's a lot of people, experiencing this. And I also know that for me, the warranty exchange process wasn't bad at all. It wasn't, it's kind of, wonky at first, but I don't think they really expected these devices to have to go through warranty exchanges so quickly. Yeah, so Amazon, I know Amazon replaced a lot quickly. BlackBerry Mobile's been doing real quickly, and I think they have a warranty exchange process better in place now as well. I do know some people kind of went a few weeks of back and forth with BlackBerry Mobile. Excuse me, guys, for a minute. Sorry, like I said, I think I'm getting sick again. I don't know what it is, but I do know some folks that were going through the back and forth between the BlackBerry Mobile warranty exchange program and kind of took a little bit of time to get theirs replaced. But that kind of got resolved. I do know that BlackBerry Mobile took even further steps to kind of go to the warranty exchange hub and to make sure that the processes were down pat and everything like that. So I do know they're taking measures. And if you go back to the BlackBerry KEYone Special Edition device, one of the nice things about that is it's kind of in the manufacturing process now. So BlackBerry went through this whole screen separation issue, and then now they're putting their the measures to fix the issue in the production process. And so with the special edition one, we shouldn't really see this issue come about. Hopefully they with the special edition they get this process down pat. Sorry. So we don't run into this issue with the special edition. But all in all, I really think that the issues kind of died down a little bit. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I've been kind of looking through the forums and such like that and Twitter, and haven't really seen too many people complain as much now as folks have in the past. So hopefully it's a soft issue and a thing we can put past, because the BlackBerry KEYone is an amazing device. Like I said earlier, I've had KEYones for 4 months. I've been through a couple of them through my review units and such like that. The battery life still just amazes me on this device, and I just can't get over it. It's been off the charger since early this morning, and I'm still at 23%. And I use it constantly with, like I said, 5 BPM groups and constantly chatting and emailing and phone calls and such. But it's great, great device. So hopefully, sales are still good from what I'm hearing from BlackBerry Mobile and TCL. So we should find out shortly how these sales are doing, and I'm sure BlackBerry is also loving this too, because they get a little percentage of the sales. I believe it's I forget what it is. It's like a commission breakdown or something like that they get from the sales of the KEYone. But nonetheless, it's selling. It's a great device. Go buy it now. Go make sure you get lots of KEYones. Get your friends, families, and coworkers on these devices. That's one of the things with the KEYone, the success. BlackBerry Mobile's been advertising this very well. Not really seeing too much TV ads via BlackBerry Mobile, which is kind of worrisome, because BlackBerry did the same thing with their devices. But I would love to see more TV advertisement and print media advertising and such like that. But other than that, they've been doing a very good job with advertising for this device and getting this device out there and YouTube and social networks and such. So, keep up the good work, BlackBerry Mobile. But we as fans of these devices, still have to do our part. And then, if you look at, the previous BlackBerry devices, BlackBerry 10, not saying that you have to be a salesperson for BlackBerry or anything like that, but show it off to your friends and family. I'm sure you guys are, but show it off to as many people as you can. Say, hey, check out this phone. Shove it in their face if they're not willing to see it, because it's a great device. I mean, I know it's got a BlackBerry logo on the back of it, and some people shy away from that concept. But this isn't your 10-year-old BlackBerry device that were coming out. This isn't your BlackBerry device of the past. This is the 2017 BlackBerry KEYone, and it's a great device. But there's my public service announcement for getting your stuff to go out there and sell the BlackBerry KEYone. Repeat my email. It is Brad, BRAD, at BerryReporter.com. It's very if you BBM me, it's easier for me to add you to the group. So if you go, my customized BBM pin is BBB, so that's 3 B's, RAD. Yeah, BlackBerry KEYone's amazing. As Leanin 01 says, the BlackBerry KEYone is amazing device. I love my KEYone. I still use, these are my 2 daily devices. The Passport, still use a Passport, and I still use my KEYone. My KEYone is definitely my daily driver, and the Passport is just another device to have with me. Yeah, Larry Joner, loving his KEYone. What do you guys? So for those who are saying that the KEYone, you're loving your KEYone, what are you loving about your KEYone? What is the big thing that you're loving about the KEYone? I know for me it's battery life and the keyboard. Those are the top, and the camera. Those are my top 3: the camera, the keyboard, and the battery life. I can finally say a BlackBerry device has a great camera to it, and it's good to say that in 2017 for a BlackBerry device. Yeah, the KEYone is a beautiful device too. Definitely agree with that. I mean, that's one of the first things I when I first got my unit from BlackBerry Mobile, just realized, taking out of the box and just realized how gorgeous of a device this is. I mean, you have your normal, iPhone devices, right? So this is a 6S, nothing new and improved. But I'd rather have this device, the KEYone, than the iPhone 6S, and it's just a better looking device. I think it's more of a statement device too. It's a more of a business oriented device. You look at somebody with a device like the KEYone, they mean business, right? And they mean they're trying to get things done. You can definitely, that device gives off that motion. Walking around the iPhone, you kind of give that motion of, yeah, he just wants to play on his phone or whatever, or just, So Romeo, it took him a while to warm up to his phone, but the battery life is amazing. He says, I couldn't agree more with you. Screen size, it could be a little bit bigger. No, correction. I personally, I'm not really crazy about the screen size on other devices. So the bigger screen sizes, I had a 6S Plus or 6 Plus way back, back then, and wasn't too crazy about the screen size. I liked it having a bigger screen, of course, but it was kind of a pain in the butt to just carry around and such. So, screen size on this thing is great. Hey, Rico, how's it going? I personally love the size of it. It's the resolution on it. Now, I do kind of wish videos would play a little bit better. They're still doable. They're still watchable. But yeah. So the thing with the screen size on the KEYone that they're running into, Michael Cluley talked about this on our previous podcast. One of the reasons why we never saw a Android version of this is because Android has such a lockdown on the screen size resolution requirements, and they can't really go too wide on a device. Now that the KEYone could have gone a little bit wider, of course, but then you would just have like an awkward feeling device. You would have your device would be out here. And sorry for those that are listening to this podcast on on iTunes and such. But if you had a little bit wider keyboard or screen size, it'd be kind of a weird typing experience. I think, but yeah, screen size could be, I'm sure there's people out there who would love a maybe, so maybe for the next key one, the key 2, whatever they're going to call it, we see a key 2 and then a key 2 XL version or something like that. My channel. So I have a couple channels. So for those listening, we're just taking some questions from the chat. If you're listening on iTunes or your favorite podcast app, so the BBM channel, I have a couple. I have 2 at least. I have 2 others that are unrelated to BlackBerry, but so there is. If you go to I'll share it later in the chat, but if you go to BBM channel, just look up BerryReporter. You'll find the site's BBM channel, and if you just look BlackBerryBrad, you'll find my personal. I kind of BerryReporter is more BlackBerry related. Excuse me, woo. And BlackBerryBrad is more of a is more centered around my everyday life, and I try to update them both at the same time, or as much as I can. BerryReporter gets updated more because I just do it right after I post articles. But but yeah, the BlackBerryBrad one's my personal one that I use for everything. But have I used the NuGet split screen? Yeah, I've used it. It's really good for for instance, I was pulling a signature and putting it into a contact or adding a contact from someone's signature, and it's always been a pain in the butt previously. Back on BBOS, there used to be this app called Grab It that would just pull that information automatically, so I never really had to do it previously. And then after that app went away, I've always had to do it kind of a weird way if I'm doing it on my device, for instance. But now with the split screen, I could put the contacts here and the email here, or vice versa, and I can go ahead and just input the information without having to switch screens back and forth. So I really love the split screen option. I don't use it as often as I was thinking I would, but when I do use it, it's a lifesaver, and it's a productivity saver too. It keeps me very productive when I'm using it. Rico for you is watching this on his KEYone, which is great to do. All right, so what I'll actually do, I actually talked about this in the BerryReporter BBM group, but what we'll do is, so after I'm going to end the show, and then what we'll do is switch over to a Google Hangouts or some other form factor, and we can still chat that way. I just don't want to keep chatting with the podcast listeners in here. So thank you again for tuning into another episode of the BerryReporter podcast, and we'll definitely be back next week. We're going to be on a every week schedule from here on out, whether I'm busy or Art's busy. So definitely stay tuned. Keep an eye on BerryReporter.com. Keep an eye on our Twitter page at BerryReporter, Instagram BerryReporter. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel too. So if you go to youtube.com/BerryReporter and subscribe to our channel, you'll be notified every time we go live. So you don't have to worry about when we are recording. We'll tell you when we're recording. So thank you for tuning in. See you guys next